Welcome to part 2 of chapter 8. In this part, we will try to define quality and quality management in the context of project management and more specifically IT project management. So, what is quality? The International Organization for Standardization, or ISO, defines quality as the degree to which a set of inherent characteristics fulfills requirements. Two comments here before we dwell further on this definition. First of all, ISO, or the International Organization for Standardization, is a standardization organization, as you can tell from the name, quite well known for their quality standards. And from what I remember, most of those ISO quality standards, they have code that is in the 9000, somewhere there. If you look at those standards, you will see that most of those ISO standards, they are related to organizational processes. So they're saying if you as an organization want to ensure quality of your final products and services that you deliver, you need to follow certain processes, certain effective and efficient processes, and that's how you ensure quality. A lot of IT companies nowadays are ISO certified, consulting companies, software vendors, and they're displaying this ISO 9000 certification. I think it's the ISO 9000 certification on their website to show that they are a quality organization. This is used as a marketing tool as well to attract potential partners. So ISO standards is a well-recognized source of information and best practices on ensuring quality. I like this definition of quality, where quality is defined the degree to which a set of inherent characteristics fulfills requirements. What this definition tells you is that the quality is in the eyes of the customer, or like the beauty is in the eyes of the beholder. So what it means that different people may have different requirements. Some people or some organizations may have very high requirements, like let's say some customers need a very luxury fast cars. Others have low requirements because, let's say, given their budget, they just need something that is simple and reliable that can get them from point A to B. So quality means it's the degree to which those requirements are met. Okay, so if you meet those low-level requirements, it means you're producing a quality product and service. Or if you meet those high-level requirements, it also means that you're, that you have a quality product and service. So quality is relative to the perspective from which you're looking at it. There are some other definitions of quality that have slightly different facets to them. For example, quality is often defined as conformance to requirements. The project's processes and products meet written specifications. Kind of similar to this, but the addition here is processes, because here the idea is that quality is a result, it's not the end result. Quality is a result of certain processes. So to ensure quality of the end result, meaning of the product, let's say, that leaves your conveyor belt, you need to focus on the processes that lead to the production of this product first. Quality can also be defined as fitness for use. A product can be used as it was intended. Okay, so that's another way of looking at quality. But I think all of those definitions, they have the customer in mind, customer who has certain requirements or specifications towards your product and service. And if those requirements are met, then it means that your product or service has high quality. If they're not met, or the extent to which they're met shows the extent to which your product or service has quality. So that's how quality can be defined. What about project quality management? How can we define that? Well, we would say that we can define project quality management by saying that the most important goal of project quality management is to ensure that the project will satisfy the needs for which it was undertaken. So any project is initiated to meet needs of particular stakeholders. So if those needs are met as a result of this project being carried out, then we can say that the project manager has been successful at managing the quality of this project. Some of the main sub-processes or phases under project quality management include planning for quality. So this is the idea that quality is something that should not be measured at the end, it's something that should be planned for. So planning for quality involves identifying which quality standards are relevant to the project and how to satisfy them. And oftentimes specific metrics or measurement techniques are used to measure throughout the duration of the project to what extent the different standards are being met, and to what extent the final delivered product meets those standards. Performing quality assurance involves periodically evaluating overall project performance to ensure the project will satisfy the relevant quality standards. So you plan for quality, and then when you go into the execution phase, you actually perform monitoring. That's what quality assurance is. You monitor whether you adhere to various standards throughout the duration of the project. And quality control means an intervention. So it not only includes monitoring specific project results, something that you also do as a part of quality assurance. It also involves monitoring it and also making certain interventions, right? Like influencing those factors. Although it's not reflected here in the definition. So those two are intertwined. I would say the only difference is that control means it's something that is more on the intervention side. Not only you monitor, not only you assure that the product meets certain that processes or certain products meet the requirements. You also go back and try to make some adjustments based on the results that you got. So here you have those differences, and here you can see that quality control involves like validating changes, making some updates to make sure that those quality problems don't occur again. So here you have a visual summary of those main sub-processes under quality project management, and also some of the main outputs, meaning documents that are used in each of those phases. Who is responsible for the quality of projects? Well, project managers are ultimately responsible for quality management on their projects, and there are several organizations that publish useful resources for ensuring quality in IT projects. The first one is International Organization for Standardization, or ISO. It publishes a lot of standards on different processes that organizations can adopt to ensure quality within their organizations at the process level. They also do ISO certification for those companies who want to have some kind of proof, formal proof of them achieving certain quality standards. Now, ISO is more on the management and process side. If you want to look at technology standards, for example, let's say your project involves developing a Wi-Fi network for specific needs or specific customer, then if you want to look at the latest specifications or standards with respect to Wi-Fi networks, that's where you will go. IEEE. IEEE stands for Institute for Electronics and Electrical Engineers, of Institute for Electrical and Electronics Engineers. It's a big formal organization. It does a lot of things. It publishes a lot of papers. But one thing that this IEEE organization does, it also maintains that list of modern standards in relation to various modern technologies. So if you're looking for solutions and information and definitions of quality on the management side, then you need to use ISO. If it's something more on the technology side, you're concerned about whether your technological solutions itself meet the prevailing standard requirements, then you need to refer to IEEE. Okay, so let's talk about some of those phases. So planning quality. It implies the ability to anticipate situations and prepare actions to bring about the desired outcome. There's a profound difference in this dimension between, or at least that's how it used to be, between the Western style of thinking represented, let's say, by US auto manufacturers, and the Eastern type of thinking, again, as exemplified by Japanese auto manufacturers and electronics manufacturers. If you look at the Western tradition of quality management, it was really something related to inspection, right? Inspection at the end of the assembly line. For example, let's say you have a plant that produces automobiles, and then at the end of the assembly line you have a quality inspector, and he or she looks at every automobile coming out of that conveyor belt to see whether it's faulty or not. If it's faulty, then they try to make some changes to this automobile to make sure it complies with quality standards. If it's not faulty, then this car passes inspection. So that was Western thinking. And if you look at a lot of statistical tests, or the way statistical tests are applied to this quality domain, you will see that they all share that perspective, that quality is something that happens at the end. Now, the Japanese or Eastern perspective is different. It basically says that quality needs to be planned for. Quality starts when you create a blueprint of a car. When you decide what kind of components that car uses. So something that will prevent defects is selecting proper materials, right, for manufacturing the car. If you select low quality, cheap materials, then It's hard to ensure the quality of the overall product. In the context of IT project management, by instead of proper materials, we can say proper inputs, qualified people, reliable hardware and software technologies. Because if you're trying to build something with unqualified people and using questionable or emerging technologies, then it's hard to ensure quality of the final information system that you're delivering. It also involves training and indoctrinating people in quality, letting everybody know that quality matters, that low quality will not be tolerated. So it's also very important. And then also planning processes that ensure appropriate outcomes, right? So quality starts at the planning stage, so you need to plan how you will do things in a way that will ensure the final product's quality. So quality can be planned for. Performing quality assurance includes all the activities related to satisfying the relevant quality standards for a project. So quality assurance can be as simple as benchmarking. So you have a certain standard or metric for a particular process or deliverable, and then once in a while you benchmark or compare your actual process with the metric that you plan for. For example, how many mistakes, how many bugs, or how many mistakes are there per line of code, something like that, right? If you benchmark yourself and you see that you have more mistakes than what you planned for, it means that your quality is sliding. Quality audit is something that is more comprehensive than benchmarking. It includes like a structured and comprehensive review of various activities to greatly improve the overall quality, so that not only one process can be improved, but the entire system can be improved. So quality audit is a bit broader than benchmarking. And then quality control. So quality control, if it's not an acceptance decision, meaning if you detect a fault or defect in your product, then you need to rework the product to make sure it does comply with the requirements. But process adjustments may be even more valuable, meaning, you see, the reason this product came out to be defective is that there is some kind of flaw in the process that is used to produce that product. So instead of reworking like all those faulty products at the end, you may want to fix the process so that the process produces less mistakes. Again, in Eastern tradition and Japanese tradition, there's that idea that the idea not to wait until a particular product comes out of the assembly line, but to try to plan for quality, to make sure there are no faulty products coming out of the assembly line. And also this whole idea that if there is a defect found, then the entire system needs to be stopped and adjusted. For example, Toyota used that Kaizen system that is like a philosophy on quality management. And among other things, that Kaizen system involves stopping the entire assembly line by any individual at the factory in case he or she believes that a particular process needs to be adjusted, that a particular process produces defects. And then later on we're going to talk about quality control, like some tools and mechanisms for monitoring quality and then deciding whether an intervention is needed. So this completes part 2 of chapter 8. Thank you for watching.